I've been away, but I'm home again. Yes, I stepped out of my studio for 3 days, 3 whole days, and I went to the Romantic Novelists Association conference, which I've been to quite a few times before. I don't often stay over the whole weekend, but I did this time. It was exhausting with all the walking because those who know me know when I go out, I walk from my back door to my car. I do walk my 3 dogs every day, but that tends to be, I don't know, probably about half an hour, 40-minute walk. So, and it's on the flat. And where this was, which was Royal Holloway University, beautiful, beautiful main building where most things were held. The gala dinner, the breakfast, the award ceremony. I'll add a picture. Absolutely beautiful place. 2 quads, one where we had the gala dinner. It was just stunning, stunning location. But to get to your accommodation, or rather from your accommodation to walk up to breakfast, was like about 50-minute uphill walk through beautiful wooded pathway, but 50-minute uphill. That's a lot for someone like me who's doesn't do many hills. And then from your accommodation to where all the lectures were, amazing lectures, that was all uphill too, and it was warm. So I don't know how some people did it, but it was fantastic and I learned a lot. So this is my notepad. So I bought this. There was an emporium with so many goodies, and on you see the Romantic Novelists Association, the RNA, I shall refer to it because that's how we generally do. That's their logo, and this is a hashtag that we use on lots of different things. Respect romfic, because I write romantic fiction, as do everyone in the RNA. And even last week in The Guardian, you know, there was a piece about romantic fiction. And one of our members, actually, Celia Anderson, wrote a letter about it, and it's brilliant. If you have The Guardian or have access, do have a look. You know, romantic novels, whether you like them or not, bring in a massive amount of money each year. And a lot of the time they can be looked down upon, and I really don't know why. And it takes an awful lot of hard work to write a book that makes easy reading. It isn't easy to do. So it's not fun when romantic fiction is looked down upon. So this is a wonderful notebook, and I'll take the pen out. I have made lots and lots of notes. Lots of notes. And I think going to a conference, as I say, I live in Jersey, so it's a plane, you know, it's a bit of a, well, I say it's a bit of a faff getting there, but I've seen on Facebook, I'm slowly catching up with things, that one of the authors who went, and she's a £1 million book bestseller, lovely girl, Jessica Redland, her journey home was like 7 hours, and she lives in England. I mean, I thought mine was a lot. It was 15 minutes from Royal Holloway by taxi to the airport. I did then have to wait. I got there early because getting there was we had fog and stuff, so I'd rather get there early. So I did have like a 3-hour wait because the plane was then very slightly delayed. But my flight was 37 minutes, and I lived 6 minutes from the airport. So my coming from Jersey is actually a lot easier than coming from other places in England. So one of the talks I went to was Virginia Heath's, which was all about rom-coms, brilliant. Another one I went to was Sage Advice. So that was Liz Fenwick, Queen of Cornish Fiction, fabulous writer. Actually, we have the same birthday. She's a few years younger than me, but we do have the same birthday. Kate Pierce, who has written over 100 books. Over 100 books. I'm writing my 29th. Over 100 books. Massive bestseller. And Heidi Swain, who is, I think, Kate Pierce is, I think she's New York Times bestseller. Heidi Swain might be, she's definitely Sunday Times bestseller. Lovely, lovely person. And they were giving their sage advice about what they wished they'd known before being published. So if you're an author and you're aspiring to be published, so let me think. Okay, I'm trying to find something that I can. What do you? Basically, one of the things is what you know about the publishing industry. So Heidi said, what works for one book might not work for the next. Now, these authors have lots of books out there. They've written lots of books. And that's very, very true. I found that too. So if you want to write books and if you want to be published as well, you've got to be flexible, she says. And I totally agree with that. And you've got to trust your publisher and your editor when you have them. I'm in the process of doing copy edits for Second Chances at Hollyhock Farm. And there's still quite a few, but I do trust my editors. Kate Pierce said the most difficult thing she found about being published was staying published. So again, she suggests you be flexible, adaptable, and resilient, and that traditional publishing is incredibly slow. I'm published by 2 digital first publishers. So one's an indie, and my books, so that's my Georgina Troy books, which they're published by Boldwood Books. They come out in paperback, hardback, ebook, and audiobook all at the same time. I'm also published by HarperCollins, the One More Chapter division, and my books come out in ebook and paperback and audiobook. But the paperback will come out, so Boldwood's come out in all territories. My HarperCollins ones, they come out initially in the UK. I'm a UK author, and then in the rest of the world. And later next month, my paperback for Neighbours comes out in the US and in Canada and various other locations. So that's exciting. Liz Fennick said, which is a good thing to remember, publishing is a very small world. Be careful what you say. And also her really good advice was, you don't have to agree with everything your editor says. And that editing is a collaborative process, and it is. So my editor, I've had brilliant editors, I'm very lucky. I remember once an editor said to me, this is years ago, she was an excellent editor, years ago, and she read one of my books, and she said, there's no way you could have this particular building. It was a ballroom at a chateau. That book is, I can't remember what book it is. It's the Sunflower Cliff series. And she said, there's no way you would have this type of ballroom in a chateau of this age. And I said, but I didn't make that up. I have stayed in the chateau I'm writing about, and there definitely was that ballroom, I can't say the word, that ballroom, exactly how I've described it. So sometimes you don't have to agree with everything. So it's actually really fascinating. So who did I see after that? There's lots and lots of stuff. Fiona Lucas, an award-winning author as well, excellent books, and she's also very big on TikTok. So if you're interested in doing things on TikTok, she's a good person to learn from. Also, I can't remember her first name. Okay, I'll think of it. I'll put it down below the other girl. Her surname is Lee. Well, I can't remember her first name. I'm tired. I've been away for 3 days. What can I say? And she was all about finding your hook. Like, what is the what if question in my book? You have to ask yourself that and lots of other things. And then there was a lot about social media. And then I went to YouTube marketing for authors. Now, this was with one of my favorite YouTubers who I follow. Every time she brings something out, I have to go there. She's also massively supportive to other YouTubers, especially newbies, which obviously I am fairly new as well. And that's Emma Bennett. I will link to her down below as well. Do follow Emma. If you're a writer, if you're an aspiring writer, she's written some incredible craft books, like how-to books, which are unmissable. So do actually look her up. She had a lot of interesting information. I found that fascinating, and I knew I'd learn a lot from her. So I was very excited that she was doing a talk at the event. And excitingly enough, one of her slides was recommended YouTube channels to follow, and mine was the top one. And she actually asked me about my process or what my YouTube channel's like and what my videos are like. That was a really exciting moment for me. Very, very nice. Thank you, Emma. I really do appreciate that. Because I really, I'm not at all professional like she is, but I do love doing this. So that was very interesting. And oh yes, and then I went to one, Tropes and Thorns, How to Write Romantasy, which is very interesting for me. I'll tell you more about that another time, close to time. So it was really very exciting. I got a lot of information. So if you're thinking about if you want to write, or anything really, whatever your line of work is in, or whatever hobbies you're in, if you can, I do think going to events and meeting other like-minded people is really useful. I mean, even if I went there and knew a lot more than I do, and I know a lot, I've been in this business a long time, I've had a lot of books published, at every single lecture I went to, I learned something, and there was that light bulb moment. So that's why I've got so many notes in there. So it was really, really useful. You also meet like-minded people. I was speaking to the president, Sue Moorcroft of the RNA, walking back to the accommodation one afternoon with my friend Glynis Peters, who is also, I've interviewed here, Glynis, wonderful Glynis. And she was saying, sometimes it's good to get out of your bubble, like the world that you live in, especially as a writer, and if you have a very solitary job like I do, and get together with your tribe. It's so nice to get together with people who don't glaze over when you start talking about writing, because for me, this is not, I mean, I love books, obviously, but this is my livelihood. This is what I do, and it's also my passion. But it's not everyone else's passion. Other people, like I've got one of my sisters, she loves her riding. She's got her horse, and so that's what she loves talking about. I've got another sister who, both are very supportive, but they both have different things. Another one who's a nutritional therapist, a holistic therapist. So obviously she is fascinated by what she does. So, we all have our own passions and interests. Not everybody's passion and interest is writing books. So it's so wonderful to be around people, especially for 3 days, who love exactly what you love, and you can have fun with them, and you pick up, I don't know, trends, that sort of thing, and just generally relax for 3 days and have a fun time together in that space. So it was really lovely. When we arrived, we got a tote bag. You gotta love a tote bag. This is ours, again, like the cover, with Respect Romfic on it. Inside there were various things. We had a paper fan because it was going to be hot, which I've left actually in my bag. This lovely pen, this is from Kate Pierce, because the authors can pay to have things put in the bags. Very good, I use that all weekend. And some flower seeds, which is really nice. So I'll scatter them in my garden, wildflower seeds, really nice. And various other bits and pieces that I can't quite remember right now. So, oh, it was some stickers. One of them, it's actually on the back of this phone that I'm oh, hold on, have I got some in here? Maybe they're in my bag, actually. No, I've taken them out. Lovely little round stickers. I think it's right. Love boldly from my Boldwood Books people. Lovely little round stickers, got them on the back of my phone. Really exciting. So it was really good fun. And basically, I think my thing about that, although I'm tired, I had great fun. I was delayed 3.5 hours going there because of fog. It's an island, we get that. But it was wonderful to step out of the bubble and just be with my tribe for a few days. I was lucky that my daughter and her partner were here looking after my 3 dogs, and my son's here too. So it was great. I could just step away, not think about anything, and just relax and have a nice time with friends. So it was lovely. So that's what I did this weekend. I'm itching to get back to carrying on the book I'm writing, my historical, because I came up with a really good, to me, idea of something that I want to include, and I was very excited to get back and write it. And then the first email I opened this morning was from my editor from Boldwood with copy edits, and it's like, oh no, don't want to. I want to write the first draft of this new book. I don't want to do copy edits and more edits of the same book I've gone through I don't know how many times before. But it's my job, it's what I do, and it's what I have to do, actually, if I want this book to come out, which I need it to come out because I'm contracted to bring it out. Anyway, I like the book, and I hope you're going to like it too, but it's obviously got to be the best it can be, and I need to do the copy edit. So that's really what I should be getting on with next, and I suppose I better had. Oh, and I've also seen the cover, which I will show you as soon as I can, of Second Chances at Hollyhock Farm. I saw that this morning. Very excited. Love it. It's quite different actually to the Welcome to Hollyhock Farm, but yeah, I love it. I'm sure you will too, and no doubt I'll plaster it everywhere. So thank you for joining me again. If you haven't subscribed, please do below. And as I said, I'll link below to Emma's channel and to the other people who I mentioned, whose talks I went to. So thanks very much for joining me, and I look forward to chatting to you soon. I'd better get on because it is a work day and I should be working. Lovely to chat.